is talking about.
What's up, family? The prosperity gospel is a religious doctrine that encourages poor people to send specific amounts of cash, usually in the hundreds of dollars, to charismatic preachers, an act the preachers characterizes as seed giving, and the preachers promise that God will reward these gifts by making the giver rich. It's arguably the most predatory form of mainstream religion in practice today, and it benefits from the U.S. tax code, which enables churches to accept donations without paying taxes on them like nonprofits do. But unlike nonprofits, the preachers who tell their followers to send them millions of dollars never have to account for the money they raise, nor disclose how much of it lands in their own pockets and the pockets of their inner circles. The BBC follows some prosperity gospel donors who gave to preachers out of desperation as their finances were hitting rock bottom, often through a combination of catastrophic health bills, layoffs, and mortgage or rent increases, and then ended up even poorer, sometimes homeless. Then, when they wrote to the preachers they sent so much money to asking for help, the preachers either ignored them or their flunkies told them to get the fuck out of my face. We takers, not givers. In one such case, Todd Kuntz, who is out of jail pending appeal and giving Periscope sermons from the front seat of his Maserati, had developed various ploys, such as flying economy by sending fake first-class invoices to ministries he was freelancing for so he could pocket the difference. He would also claim expenses twice, once from his own ministry and once from his client. He claimed thousands of dollars on clothes. Suits are not a permitted business expense. And 400 cinema tickets, which the IRS also considered unreasonable. On January 26, 2019, Kuntz was sentenced to 5 years in prison for failing to pay taxes and assisting the filing of false tax reports. He was also ordered to pay $755,669 in restitution. Go ahead on, Kuntz. Handle your business, man. Get that money, man. If they big enough fools to give it to you, take it. Man, I just have very, very short patience on people who give these ministers this unheard of amounts of money. I'm like, man, how many cases have you seen where pastors just take the bag and run? I remember even just growing up, there was one honest pastor that I personally knew, and that was my godfather, the Reverend Elder Ledette, Henry Elder Ledette. Great guy. Had a little small church. Why is it that seems like the most honest pastors are the ones in the smaller churches? Sure, there are some that have the big churches that are honest, but it seems like, the smaller churches are the ones that have the pastors that go hard and just be straight up with you. But that's how he was. And I suspect that I get some of my principles from him. He was a straight up stand-up dude. Didn't take no junk. Nobody pushed him around. He wouldn't allow anybody to push him around. He didn't start any trouble either. But nobody could push him around. And he stood up for the whole neighborhood. If you needed something, come to his house, man, and knock on the door. He's going to give you something. No matter what it is, he's going to give you something. He looked out for everybody. R.I.P. Man. Well, I ain't mean to go there, y'all. But I just had a flashback. But so often, these pastors, when I was growing up, I would see pastors looking good, living good, driving the big cars, and I really don't remember anybody else having nothing really, really nice like that. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally believe if you're in the business of saving souls or helping to save souls, That's an admirable position, and I've said this many, many times. I don't think pastors should live like bonds. I think pastors should live nice. They should live comfortable. I believe in that. But some of these dudes riding around on private jets, living in 100,000 square feet mansions, Rolex for every day of the week. Some of them got Rolexes for every day of the year. Nah. You give your rent money to these pastors, and you give your mortgage money, your car note money, your grocery money, you deserve whatever you get. The best lies are often mixed with the truth, man. Let me tell you something. God never promised that material wealth would lead to spiritual gain. That ain't what he's talking about, man. He never said that. So I don't know, all of a sudden it seemed like this prosperity thing just took off in like the last 20 years or so. And they killing the game with it. Making you think the reason why you poor is because you don't give enough. I know you're poor. I know you ain't got it. But if you want God to look out for you, you got to give to me and my congregation. Come on, man. Y'all know the saying. Say it with me, class. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? No more talk.
What them haters talking about?